Mem Vav Amid Beis will begin at Mem Vav Amid Aleph, 6 lines from the bottom. We learned previously, Rav Huna said that the Talmud Tchilos is Daicha, the beginning of the avodah of the Talmud is Daicha, but Seifa, the end of it, the burning of the Vorim on the Mizbeach is not Daicha. We had a machlekes what that means. So Rav Chisda said, he says it's Daicha Shabbos. He says that the end of the Talmud is Daicha Shabbos, but when it says Veina Daicha, it means Veina Daicha Tuma. It's not Daicha Tuma. Both Shabbos and Tuma, the Torah says that the Talmud is b'moyadai, it's a point of time, and therefore you're makriv the Talmud even on Shabbos. And if it's even b'tuma, you're makriv even b'tuma. But the machlokes learns that when it says Seifa Eina Daicha, even though we say that it's the Talmud, if it is no choice, is brought b'tuma, but that's only the tchilas avodah. That's only the shchita, the zrika, but not the burning of the Iborim. On Shabbos, we say on Shabbos that even the Seifa, even the burning of the Iborim is also Daicha Shabbos. So therefore, if the Talmud that was brought on Friday, that you're makar on Friday, you can burn the Ivorim even on Shabbos. That is what Rav Chisda said. Rabbi Omer, he said, no, he said that Deiches a Tumah, but it's not Deiches a Shabbos. It's only Deiches a Tumah, but the Seifa is not Deiches Shabbos. So Omer le Abaye le Rabba, Abaye said to Rabba, L'didach kasha ul Rav Chisda kasha, it's a kasha according to both of you. L'didach kasha, according to you, it's a kasha that you say it's Deiches Tuma, but it's not Deiches Shabbos. Maish not Tuma. Why do you say that the Seifa, the burning of the Ivorim, is Deiches Tuma? D'chseya b'moyda, afil b'tuma. The Torah says b'moyda, that by the korban Talmud, that you're makriv b'moyda, which means it's a point of time, even if it's b'tuma, it's a point of time. It's a korban tzibur shezmana kavua, so you're doich even if it's betuma. Shabbos nami b'moyda v'afil b'Shabbos. It says b'moyda v'afil b'Shabbos. Ula Rav Chisda kasha, and according to Rav Chisda is also kasha. Ma'ishna Shabbos. Why does he say that Shabbos? That the seifa, the burning of the Ivorim is deicha Shabbos d'chseya b'moyda, which we say afil b'Shabbos. Well, tuma nami b'moyda v'afil b'tuma. As far as tuma, you should say the same thing. B'moyda afil b'tuma. Rabbi answered, he said, Amrlei, he said to Abaye, Lo l'didi kasha v'lo l'Rav Chisda kasha. It's not a kasha on either one of us. L'didi lo kasha. According to me, it's not a kasha. That why am I mechalik between Shabbos and Tumah? Why do I say Deiches Tumah, but not Deiches Shabbos? Because Seifa ketchilosa. I say the Seifa, the end of it, the burning of the Ivorim, is like the beginning of it. It's like Tchilosa. Therefore, Tuma, but as far as Tuma goes, the Tchilosa bar mitcha Tumahu, that we say that the avodah, the Tchila, the shchita, the zrika, is Deicha Tuma. So Seifa nami dachi. So therefore, the end of it, the burning of the Ivorim, is also Deicha. Once the korban is nitcha to be Deicha, and if it's Tuma, and therefore you're allowed to do the shchita, the zrika, but Tuma, because it's a korban tzibur shekavua zman, so it's nitcha litcha, so seifa nami nitcha, you're allowed to burn it. But Shabbos, the tchilos allow bar mitcha Shabbos. Shabbos, the avodah of the Friday Talmud, the avodah of the Friday korban is not deicha Shabbos. It has to be done on Friday. Can't be done on Shabbos, so it's not deicha. So seifa nami leidoche. So the Seifa, the burning of the Ivorim, is also not Deicha. The burning of the Ivorim of Friday is also not Deicha Shabbos. So the Shabbos that the Tchilosa, the Shchita, the Zrika, you can't, it's not Nitcha Litcha Shabbos. You can't do it on Shabbos. It's not Deicha Shabbos. And therefore the Seifa also cannot be Deicha Shabbos. So therefore, it's not Deicha, you can't be Deicha Shabbos. The Rashash asks the question, why does Rashi mention Zrika? Zrika, there's no malach involved in the Zrika Saddam anyway, so why does he mention that? That's not an Indian of Chil Shabbos. But some of Forshim answer that Al Kopanim, the Rabbanon, there is an Isser of Zrika on Shabbos as well. So Rabbi continues, and Rav Chisda like kasha, and it's also not a kasha according to Rav Chisda. Seifa Ketchilasa, less like he doesn't hold of Seifa Ketchilasa. He doesn't hold of this svara of Seifa Ketchilasa. So therefore, just because by Tuma we say that the Tchilas is deicha, doesn't mean the Seifa is deicha. Therefore, Shabbos, we say Shabbos, the Hutri B'tzibur. Shabbos, which is Hutri B'tzibur. It's not only B'di'evet, meaning on Shabbos, it's Hutri B'tzibur. You have a Korban Tzibur, the Talmud, you're Makravit, and on Shabbos, you don't look for ways not to be Makravit, not to be Machal Shabbos. It's if the Isser of Shabbos does not apply. It's Hutra. So therefore, we say, the burning of the Ivarim, it's also Dachi. But Tuma, Dechuya B'tzibur. He holds that Tuma is only Dechuya, is only reluctantly. It's only if you have no eitz. It's not Hutra, it's Dechuya. It overrides, but it's not Hutra. It's not as if the Isser is not there. So therefore, Tchilosa the Iker Kapora, the beginning the Avodah, which is Iker Kapora, Dachi, that's Deicha. Seifa, the Lav Iker Kapora, Loi Dachi. But the Seifa, the burning of the Ivarim, even though it's a mitzvah, but if you don't do it, it's not Ma'akiv, it does not hold back the Kapora is there in any event. Therefore, we say it's not Deicha. Itmaranu Machlekes HaMachave Eish Machta Umenaira, someone who extinguishes the fire of the shovel that's used, the coals that are used for burning of the keteros, or that's used for the lighting of the menorah. If he extinguishes it, Abaya Mar Chayav, he says you're Chayav, and Rava Mar Potter. Rava says you're Potter. So Gemara analyzes it. The Kavya Bereishal Mizbeach, if he extinguished it and the top of the Mizbeach, on the top of the Mizbeach, he extinguished it, the Kolayam Aloi Pligi, the Chayav. Everyone is Maida that you're Chayav. Everyone is Maida that you're Chayav in such a case. Why? Because the Torah says, Eish Talmud Tu Kod Hal Mizbeach Lisich, you're not allowed to extinguish the fire of the Mizbeach. If it's on top of the Mizbeach, it's considered to be extinguishing the fire of the Mizbeach. Ki Pligi the Achta Arava Kavi. Machlekes is if he brought it down to the ground and extinguished it on the ground. So, Abaya Amar Chayav, he says, you're Chayav, Eish Mizbeach. It's still considered to be the Eish on the Mizbeach. Even though it was taken to the ground, it's still the fire of the Mizbeach. And therefore, you're Chayav. It's still considered Chayav because it's still considered Eish on Mizbeach. But Rav Amar Potur, he says, Potur came in the Nitka. He says, no, once it's removed from the Mizbeach, it's not considered the Eish of the Mizbeach, and therefore there's no chiyuv for extinguishing the Eish on the Mizbeach. Taisus asks on Abaya. Abaya says, you're Chayav, that's Eish on Mizbeach. Well, we learned previously that when they had the coals and they used the regularly during the year, they took the coals from the Mizbeach to burn the keteros. They brought it in a shovel of 4 kavin. They poured it into a shovel of 3 kavin. 1 kav spilled on the floor. It spilled on the floor, and they swept it into the amma. Well, they swept it into the amma. L'chayra, that means they're extinguishing it. So don't you see that if it's on the ground, that it's not considered Eish HaMizbeach, and your potter. They swept it into the Amma. One Teretz Taisus gives is that the Amma is not an Amma of water, it's just a ditch, and it didn't have water in it, so they didn't extinguish it. But Taisus has a different Terusim. So that is the machlekes over there. The machlekes is not on top of the mizbeach. Everyone agrees you're chayiv. If it's on the ground, he extinguished it on the ground. That's the machlekes. Frek the Gemara elhad the Amar of Nachman Rav Ravua Hamoyer gachelas me'al gab mizbeach v'kiva chayiv. He said, if you take a coal and remove it from the mizbeach and you extinguish it as chayiv, let us say kiman ki'abaya. Let us say that is only according to Abaya, but according to Rava, it's not so, because Rava said that you're potur. One says no. Afila tema kira. You can even say that it's going according to Rava. Hasam lo yintek lemitzvasa. Over there, it's chayav because it was not removed. It was not now a case where it had a different status. It was not re-designated for the mitzvah. So therefore, even though it's on the ground, it's still considered Eish HaMizbeach, and you extinguish it as chayav. But over here it was redesignated for a mitzvah. We're talking over here where you remove the coal from the mizbeach for the purpose of the machta of the menorah. It was redesignated for a different purpose. Over there he says it's not considered Eisha Mizbeach. But if it was removed from the ground without redesignated for a different mitzvah, it's still considered Eisha Mizbeach. Ikadamris, some say the following: the Achdar of a caveat, they learn the machlokes differently. That if it's brought down to the ground and it's extinguished on the ground, the Kolyamaloi Pligi, the Potur, everyone agrees that it's Potur. If it's on the ground and you extinguish it, it's not Eishal Mizbeach. Everyone agrees it's Potur. Keep Pligi the Kaveh B'Reisha Mizbeach. The machlokes is on the top of the Mizbeach. Abaya Amar, he says, Chayav Eishal Mizbeach. Rabbi says you're chayiv. It's the eish. It's a coal on the mizbeach. It's eish mizbeach. He's chayiv. Rav Amar Potter. He says Potter came with the nitka. Nitka. He says no. Once you removed it from the marocha, once you remove it from the marocha, even though it's physically at the top of the mizbeach, it's not considered anymore the eish mizbeach. So you're Potter. Elahad Amar Rav Nachman Amar Rav Avua. I said Amar Gachelos Me'al Gam Mizbeach V'Kiva Chayiv. He says you're Chayiv. So what should we say? Kiman Loika Baya V'Loika Rava. Should we say that it's not like any one of them because according to this version, they both say you're Potter. So Loika Baya V'Loika Rava. The Gemara says no. Hasam Loi Intekla Mitzvasa. Hach Intekla Mitzvasa. It's different over there. According to this version, even though it's physically on the ground, but if it had not been redesignated for a different mitzvah, it's still considered Eisha Mizbeach, so you're chayiv. The case over here, when we say they both say Abai and Rava that you're Potter if it's removed from the because Intik L'Mitzvah, it was redesignated for a different mitzvah, so it's redesignated for a different mitzvah for the menorah, for the makbeh, and it's physically on the ground. Then we say, in such a case, we say that you're Potter because it's no longer considered to be Eisha Mizbeach. Hadar alach tarach bekalfi, hadar alach tarach bekalfi, hadar alach tarach bekalfi. Hoitzia lo yasakav esamacht. Hashem, next moment we'll continue with the new parak.